What's happening, ladies and gentlemen of League Zero, and welcome to the countdown for Week 10. I'm Acronator, and I'm joined by the Novice Division Analyst. I almost said Rock Sizer because your nickname is Rock Sizer right now, but Grape Cake.
Yo, what's up, guys?
We got Tanicbee, the captain of Plat Chat.
Hi.
Also the Potato Mike, but you'll figure that out for yourself later. And then we have the manager of Z9, Juice.
Hi.
And with that out of the way, we can go straight into the recap for Week 10. And this was a rather exciting week, a lot of potential for upsets in the standings. I don't believe anything was really upset in the standings, but there was a lot of potential for it. So we had Crest 4-0ing Easy Clap, Newt losing to Hangzhou Bark 3-1, or rather 1-3, and then Chengdu just barely edging out a win against Z9 2-1 for the Advanced Division. So with Crest versus Easy Clap, unfortunately there's not too much to talk about there. Crest really just kind of stomped on Easy Clap, who looked like they didn't come prepared. They didn't really have any specific strats going into the game, although I will say they had their assistant manager Pixel Storm, who is a main tank player on support for most of the game, so that's not particularly easy. But there were some moments, but ultimately Easy Clap looked like a team that had to rebuild as of last week, which they did, so I'm willing to cut them some slack there. Newt versus Hangzhou was... Hangzhou took it 3-1, like I said. Newt actually made it incredibly close, though, for a team that had to rebuild about 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point. They actually looked pretty darn good. I was expecting, rewatching the VOD, not remembering what the score was, that it was going to map 5 because it was just back and forth the entire time. I think ultimately it came down to a lot of the main tank play between the two of them, Pooter Scooter and Agreed, just kind of kept going back and forth. The rest of the team, like Hangzhou, had stronger support play, but Newt had stronger DPS play, and both of the off-tanks were relatively even in terms of performance, and Agreed just barely edged out in more fights. However, I will say, oddly enough, Newt had incredibly good ult economy, whereas Bark just kind of like had no ult economy. They're like, we have 6 ultimates, let's just use all 6 of them right now. And then with the Chengdu Chads versus Z9, well, Juice, if you have anything to say about that match since you're here. If you want to. You don't have to.
2 things I want to say. 1, Zero, you're wrong. Matt did not boom Yusuf. That was KSG, who played a subpar Winston. The second thing is, I feel like we beat ourselves up more than they beat us. It honestly came down to little communication errors, Yusuf being a hard ass, and I don't know, basically just like it just comes down to like just we fucked up some things. I'm sorry that I just cursed. Oops. I'm gonna keep that down. But that we messed up on some things. That's about it. Like I mean I'm eventually gonna go into depth about the plasma, the swaggy, and the Yusuf thing, but we'll save that for later.
Save it for the press conference. Fair enough. All right, and I'll hand it over to Grape to go over the Novice Division.
So yeah, looking at this week's Novice, it wasn't really that spectacular. As you probably guys can see from the scores, 4 O's all across the table. So speaking a little bit of the teams, all the wins that we saw today were expected. Papega Pairs being the #1 seed were of course probably going to take down Double Cap. However, if they did lose, it did open up the spot for them to drop down to 3rd spot. However, that didn't happen. During that game versus Papega Pairs versus Double Cap, the first map was relatively close. That's only because Papega Pairs had a lever on the maps, so Double Cap was able to take 1 round there. But after that, it was just went downhill. King Genius played really weak in the second map, and then for the 3rd and 4th map, Shane came in and he did not pick up where King left off and actually performed quite weaker. So the DC for me is not looking quite strong coming into playoffs. Looking at Platchats versus Rio Redemption, Platchats just looked lost. Rio's dive and Rissa Hall compositions were quite strong. They finally know how to play coordinated and stuff like that, and that's a really bright spot coming to playoffs. And Bot Burgers versus OTW, The first 3 maps were relatively easy for bot burgers, but there was some trouble on the last map of Dorado. There was potential for OTW to take that map and for bot burgers and Rio to go to a control map tiebreaker. However, bot burgers was able to edge it out near the end. So overall, all the 3 winning teams look very strong coming to playoffs, but the 3 losing teams are going to have to prepare for playoffs as they're going to be against quite hard opponents.
And since we have Tanik here, do you want to say anything about the Rio game, Tanik?
It was big. It was rigged on the second map. I think it was like whatever that no,
Anubis?
Horizon. Yeah.
Oh.
My mic did not work for attack, so the entirety of the attack, I was like, I'm calling out where they are, what to do, and they say nothing, and I was like, wait, what? Did my mic not work? Did I need to say it? So we literally had me not being able to call out anything. Like, I'm ensemble, so I was like, literally can't do anything. I can't even call out, oh, monkey hacked or Lisa hacked. I'm just sitting there like, oh god, no.
Did you ask for a pause? I didn't really see a pause.
No, there's no point because I would have to like fidget around with my mic, which could cause a blue screen. So yeah.
Okay, that's new. I mean, I know you had a scuffed
my mic's
mic.
kind of cursed. It's kind of cursed, dude.
Don't you have like a blue snowball?
Yeah.
That's
it's
what I'm
cursed.
using right now. Like, what is the problem?
If I fidget around with the back cords, it just decides to blue screen. I could probably do it at the end of the countdown, but I don't know.
Like,
Alright.
it's
I can show
probably
you my
great.
bad mic.
Oh dear.
No, please. It's already bad enough.
All right, well, we can move over to the player.
Shut
The
up.
player of the match is it's not as bad as Tanik's mic. He is a literal potato around his microphone. But we can move over to the player of the matches now. And for the Advanced Division, Crest had Moby with Ultra as an honorable mention. Wait a minute. Moby's not on Crest. I must be thinking of Melton.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Melton. Yep, I wrote down the wrong name. But yeah, anyway, Melton is their flex DPS player. He played mostly. Let's see, when they played Goats, it's usually Brig, although I believe he flexed onto the Genji a little bit. He flexed over to the Pharah quite a bit. And he performed really well in basically everything he did. If I remember correctly, he had quite a few Nano Blades that completely decimated Easy Clap. And then Ultra, of course, formerly known as Shadow Dragon, the main tank. He's ridiculously talented. And then Hangzhou Bark, they finally did it, and they decided to give the player of the match to Agreed, with Client being their honorable mention. And I believe Client is a ringer? If he is on the team, he wasn't playing his standard role. I
He
believe
was a player for us at one point.
Yeah, I believe he's a free agent. He was a ringer, so the fact that he got an honorable mention is saying something. He did really well on. He played a lot. He played a little bit of the Sombra. He played, I think, a little bit of off tank, but then also a bit of flex support, if I remember correctly. But Agreed definitely was the deciding factor for this particular game. Like I said before, the teams were relatively evenly matched, but Agreed taking on Pooter and winning most of those main tank battles was definitely the deciding factor. And then the Chengdu Chads voted Marky Candy. Somewhat unsurprisingly, this was the first week that he could play because he was suspended up to week 8, I believe, and then week 9 he was unavailable. So he finally got to play, and he definitely made a pretty big impact. He wasn't quite as flashy as like Ducky is, for example, especially with the Diva bombs, but he was extremely consistent, and he played a lot more than just Diva. He played a little bit of Sombra, and definitely a player to look out for going into the playoffs now that they actually can play with him. And then an honorable mention going out to Adam, who, if I remember correctly, is the main support, and he was just consistently harassing Yusuf.
No,
Or is
Adam
he-
was on the main. Yeah, Adam was on flex support act. Calbo was on main.
Right, because Basilisk is on vacation. That's right. Adam used to be main support, wasn't he?
Yeah, he used to be main support till Baz came in.
Right.
Baz was considered to be the second best main support behind like Swaggy, so Adam just moved.
Right. Makes sense. But either way, Adam was just... I remember distinctly Adam harassing Yusuf nonstop. And I'll give it over to Grape to cover the... actually, it would help if I actually sent him the file, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
I was gonna say I didn't have them.
Be 1 minute. Okay.
Beauty.
Okay, so with the novice players and matches, non-honorable
So
mentions, and all that.
so for the Real Redemption game, it was Surmi, and honestly, this man ever since he's come into League Zero has literally been one of the top off tanks to deal with. His diva is quite exceptional, and Rodog as well, filling in for Stewie at some points in time. He was actually a free agent for almost 8 weeks, but then was picked up by Rio for a backup, and now I feel like he's actually going to be taking that starting role over Stewie. That's how much he's improved over time, and it really shows in these game matches that he's been playing. And honorable mention is Epps, and Epps countless times he's been playing up to standards with his DPS, his Pharah, his Genji, all of those things are probably one of the best DPS he has in Novice currently. So that's something a force to be reckoned with coming into the playoffs. And for the pick appearance, it was Rockney. And Rockney in this game really surprised a lot of us. He came up with a lot of big diva plays, and honestly, he made Pichu bombs not exist anymore. Okay, Pichu got like 2K bomb right after Rockney got a 4K bomb. Like that was just amazing play from him, especially like considering he was a bench player for most of the season, and now he's playing this good now is quite exceptional. And All Mike, as an honorable mention, I really liked how All Mike played today. He didn't get to play a lot of games for like the last 2 weeks as he battled with a lot of mental health issues, but he came in strong and performed very, very well to take in that to play over Tofu. And in terms of the Bot Burgers game, it was average. And average played quite exceptional as well, just like Rocky and Surmi. And for honorable mentions, honestly, I think Ranter and Sloth played much better. In my opinion, Ranter's Sloth on DPS and Ranter on support were just a force to be reckoned with. So all the players are really excited to see for the playoffs coming up next week.
All right, and do either Juice or Tanic have anything to comment on perhaps the opponents you guys had, or just you want to move on to the next thing? Okay, we can move on to the next thing, which is something that Grapecake actually came up with. Is a sort of our own take on a segment Watchpoint for Overwatch League did last year, season 1.
Yeah, last year.
Pre-playoffs, which is like you have up to 30 seconds to summarize each of the teams. So I'll be doing all the advanced ones. Grape will be doing all the novice ones. So let me open this up. Some of mine might be a little bit shorter than
30 seconds.
Than 30 seconds, but some of the teams have a lot less to be said, particularly the bottom two, just because there are unfortunate circumstances. But with 30 seconds on the clock, we'll start with Crest. Definitely a team that was impossibly strong coming into this league. Ozzy knew exactly who he wanted to get, and he picked them, almost all of them up, plus I think Buffalo, or Buffalafo, or whatever he wants to be called. Despite how little we tend to talk about Crest, they really are one of the best teams in the entire league, if not the best. Moving over to Z9, definitely the team that proved me wrong the most and most consistently. From the beginning of the season, I predicted them to be like, I think 5th or 6th place, just because I wasn't sure where their players were going to be. Granted, some of their players have now left, but they did at least get them to a 2nd place seeding before leaving, and even then, the team is still in a pretty good shape. They didn't quite explode like I was expecting them to. Hangzhou Bark in 3rd place. This team, I think, proved not only me wrong, but everyone wrong. Everyone was expecting them, formerly known as Gangu Clan way back in the day, to come in dead last for this league, just because they didn't really pick up that many strong players to begin with. A lot of big question marks in terms of players who maybe didn't improve as much as some others did that were picked up for other advanced teams. But in the end, they performed extremely well, especially with the pickup of Andrew. They really managed to turn their season around and end out with a 5-5 record. In 4th place, we have Chengdu Chads. This team is still kind of a mystery to me. They have explosive potential, ridiculous star power, but they also have some pretty lows, as we've seen, especially in the first half of the season when they went like 1-4, I think. So I think if they can get everyone to show up, they can win this entire thing, but they need everyone to show up and be on their A game. Newt. This is where it gets hard to say, but I will say that I have an immense amount of respect for Meta and D'Artagnan for taking up the mantle after what I think 2 other managers, Saito and Ads, had backed away from it, and they were left with basically nothing aside from a few players that were partially inactive, and they got them all back into the game. So a lot of respect from the staff team for them. And then Easy Clap, a lot of potential, a lot of promise, a lot of surprise promise even coming from them. Just a lot of really strong players that actually look somewhat coordinated despite having formed 2 weeks ago at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically all my 30-second summaries. A little bit less memey, but more genuine insight. Go ahead, Grape.
Wait, would anyone like to comment on what Akinator said?
Yes. 2 things. 1, funny thing. Last time Easy Clap got a win, 8 weeks ago. Actually, 10 weeks ago.
Wait, are they 1-0?
Yep, they were 2-0 in the beginning of the season.
Yep, okay, they're 2-8. Wow.
So, the other thing I want to comment on is for our team. Actually, I'll wait for the end. I'll wait for my.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna do the novice, and I'm gonna try my best not to talk fast because I'm probably gonna say a lot. But okay, starting off with the Paprika Parrots. The Paprika Parrots finished the stage with a strong 7-3 record with the highest map differential with 17 plus. They started off the season strong with a 4-1 record, only losing to a strong DC team at the time. However, with the second part of the season starting with the loss of Yamtes and myself, Great Kick, the team started to fall behind. 2 out of their 3 losses this second half of the season did come from Bot Burgers and Rio, the second and third place seeds. The second half of the season showed that they could not contend with any of the higher ranked teams. If I had to rate the Paprika Parrots season, I would give them a 7 out of 10. In terms of the Bot Burgers, they also finished with a very strong 7-3 record with a 10 plus map differential. The Bot Burgers are a story of first to worst at the start of the season with 2 brutal losses going 0-8. However, with Lynch manager skills, he was able to make the right moves, turning the whole season around. He picked up very skilled players with Era and Adifi that made a quick difference to the team in their success. Furthermore, they were the first and only team to have a perfect second half of the season. To rate the Bot Burgers, I would give them a 9 out of 10. Rio Redemption, along with the Paprika Parrots and Bot Burgers, finished with a 7-3 record, missing the playoffs week by only 1 map. 2 out of the teams that came in the first stage, they seemed confused on what to play and what to run. Just like Lynch, Damien dropped and traded many of the players on the roster to the roster they have today. Players like Otta, Apple, and Chicken help the team grow and make them serious title contenders coming into the playoffs. To rate the Rio Redemption, I would give it a 9 out of 10. For the One Trick Wonders finished with a 4-6 record with a -5 map differential. They came into the season with the highest expectations that they had the best coaching staff by far with people such as Ulfgar, and had previous season 0 players on their management. However, they weren't able to live up to these expectations as the season progressed. The season started off strong, but with the loss of Arrow, it severely hurt the team. The late pickups they made with Werner and Master Dempsey didn't seem to help, and they were only able to get 2 wins this stage against 2 very weak teams. For the OTW season, I would give them a 4 out of 10. Double Cap finished the season with a 4-6 record along with OTW, with a -6 map differential. They came into the season with the least expectations and as many rumors spread about them, as they did not play well in scrims. They had a very interesting first half of the season, giving the Paprika Parrots their first loss while giving Platchat their first and only win. Regardless, this team was carried by their tank lineup and seemed very strong. However, with other teams understanding how to break their tank lineup and just play better than them, they were only able to get 1 win this stage against the very worst team, Platchat. Furthermore, with the rumor spreading that King is going to get benched for Shane, this isn't a team they're going to want to watch in playoffs. To rate the Double Clap season, I'll give them a 3 out of 10. The Platchat finished the season with the worst record of 1-9 with a -25 map differential. Since the beginning of the season, they looked very weak and seemed as if they were hopeless. There was hope when they were able to take down DC squad, a squad that would eventually beat the Paprika Parrots. However, they still look quite lost. They made pickups and trades as the season progressed, but it came with no use. Losing Pichu and Bob Ross worsened the team, and with rumors of a waste wanting to leave the team, this team is looking very, very weak. To rate the Platchat season, I'll give them a strong 0.5 out of 10.
Not zero, dude. Let's go.
0.5.
Let's go.
I wasn't expecting that one.
Dude, that's an actual Pog, not a 0. Let's go. But in all seriousness, the issue for our team is consistency. It's just showing up to scrims and other team stuff and actually showing up the game day.
Damn, you guys are
when we show up, we
really.
just look lost and
If that's inconsistency, that's really bad inconsistency.
we're very inconsistent. We can literally just play one map, okay, then we just choke at the end. It's always happened.
Well,
It's
honestly, I've been watching Platchat all season. And honestly, even when you won against you guys look very, very weak
Yeah.
and lost. You guys just look confused. You guys rely on to win fights on chaos. You guys are not coordinated at all. You have to rely on someone to pop on your team, and that's what having Pichu did. When you lost Pichu, you kind of were like in a starstruck. And you guys are trying these weird comps that you guys are not going to run. Like against oh sorry, I'm talking about DC now, but DC against Papega Parrots decided to run quad DPS to support. Even if you're the best DPS in the world, who is going to contest point? Like,
we can talk about that a little bit
Not
more.
even
Destroyed. He's got destroyed.
The only time we would ever run that is when we have like a ringer in, and that's 9 times out of 10 we would run neglect on Mercy, and we would run that gamma point.
Why do you have such difficulty getting your main supports to scrim with you? Like, you had me, you had Dividing, you had Neglect, you had Calbo on main support. Like,
Oh no, Calbo was Doomfist.
Oh, yeah. that too.
Calvo.
Dude, if he started on Doomfist and Hanzo for Chengdu Charge, they would be undefeated.
But anyways, Juice, if you want to say something about the about your team and the whole summary thing.
Did you rate us?
Oh,
No, I didn't rate. I didn't rate the teams, but let's see. If I had to give Z9 a rating, it'd probably be like let's say an 8 out of 10.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'd say too.
And I know a lot of people are going to question my rating on Papega Parrots. I give them a 7 out of 10. That's only because, yeah, they're only first because of how they started in the first season. When you lose to teams like Bot Burgers and Real Redemption, those are the top 2 teams in my opinion right now. And you got
No kidding.
You got to take a win off one of those teams to be considered the best. And winning against Platchat, OTW, and Double Cup doesn't mean you're the best in my opinion.
It's okay if they go. Basically, I think when they lost to Bot Burgers, they didn't have the Magical, who I think is like arguably the best player, and like without, I think Magical is
Questionable.
yes, or one of the best players in Novice, because he's just so good. But I think missing Magical and having to play Rockney, but Rockney is very good, but I'm not sure I don't think he's as good as Magical though. Like missing Magical hurts.
Regardless, this is my opinion on Tanning. Look at when they versus Bot Burgers. The only reason Papega got a map was because Bot Burgers kind of sandbagged fourth map, right?
I think no, they both ran the meme comp, which I will not say. And they managed to take a map running that comp.
But
I'm not gonna...
even without Magical, they have to be at least putting up fights. Me and Akinir both watched that game. Hollywood was a steam run by Bot Burgers. First map was kind of close. There were some close moments. But then the third map was also just a steamroll by Bot Burgers.
I think when it comes down to finals, Papega Parrots will show off how good they actually are, and they most likely will face Bot.
We'll talk about this later, but
yeah,
you can go on Akinator.
I'm good.
Okay, yeah, so we can move over to the predictions for not this weekend because we have the week off, or week off, but the following weekend, which is August 2nd through the 4th, Friday through Sunday. The whole playoff schedule is already posted, so we have that. So for the quarterfinals, we can all have relatively concrete predictions, but for the semifinals, it's a little bit hazier, so there will be a little bit of guesswork going into these. So maybe take those with a grain of salt, because we don't know what's going to happen, as well as who's going to face who necessarily. But going into the we'll go over the advanced quarterfinals and semifinals first, and then we can go over to the novice stuff. So for the quarterfinals, the 2 matches that we have going up against each other are Hangzhou Bark versus Easy Clap, and then Chengdu Chads versus Newt Newt. Actually, yeah, all 4 of us unanimously choose Hangzhou over Easy Clap, and then Chengdu versus Newt Newt. However, I will say I went back and forth a lot in my head about Newt Newt versus Chengdu. Newt Newt showed a lot of promise. Maybe they're obviously less mechanically skilled than Chengdu, but I think they have the teamwork. Surprisingly enough, they have the teamwork to make it work, but I think ultimately they will probably lose like 3-1. I would be extremely proud of them if they could take it to a map 5. But anyone have anything in particular about either of these 2 matches?
Do you want to start, Juice, or can I say what I want to say?
I entirely disagree with Akrinator.
About the Chengdu Newt Newt going close?
I do not see Newt Newt even close to Chengdu.
I have to agree with Juice here. Like, Nunu is just looking weak, and Chengdu is on the. they have literally built a team over these 10 weeks.
On the
Are definitely
rise.
title contenders. Like new, they're gonna have to run their bra bunker or something, man. 'Cause I don't know what they're gonna.
I don't think Chengdu's on the rise. Look, if you look at their record in the last 3 games, they're 2-1. They had a tough schedule. It was week 8 they had Crest, week 9 they had Bark, and then week 10 they had us. And they only won one of those games. So if you look at that, you kind of get nervous. Obviously, they don't have Mark Candy, and like I guess like they probably have practiced a lot. They don't have the bye, so there's not going to be that much rust. So they're going to be kind of fresh going into the game against Crest or us. I don't really know, but like if you look back into it, like they lose to Hangzhou Bark. Like I remember that week where like all those players like we're gonna roll them. It's like
But the Bark put up a good fight against Crest.
yeah, because
They did,
agreed,
yeah.
agreed magic. How do you not believe in it?
Yeah, agreed. It's magic, dude. He feeds one game, then pops off the next. It's weird.
No, they just like I don't watch it, but all I know is like you got to build around the main tank. You either you go in balls to the walls, or you just follow him. Just follow the guy with the big shield.
Press W with them. But yeah, that's our predictions for the
And
quarterfinals.
on the other hand is like, they got like some like Pooter. I don't really know. Like they kind of collapsed. Like yeah, they made the memes against us about the bunker crap, and like I just don't see them like. All right, Noonan has Ecology. They got Lux. They got. I never even heard of any of these guys.
They lost Tedison as well.
Yeah.
So
The
I don't
only 2 people I know, or 3 people, I'd say the 3 people I've ever heard of who I joined in a call with, is Lux, Pooter, and Ecology. And I know Ecology is like up and down. These are like things I've heard. Ecology's up and down, and Pooter, a lot of people compare Pooter like Fraggy. Like Fraggy's a big name, but eh.
yeah, they're definitely looking shaky coming to these quarterfinals.
It is also worth noting that Pooter Scooter was the main tank for Z9 last season.
I don't think Chengdu, like, I understand that their record is like not good, but I just like new to Chengdu is like there's like 3 tiers of Overwatch in this. It's just not even close. That's what I say.
And then going into the semifinals, we sort of had to guess here as to who's going to be facing who. First off, taking the predictions of who we think is going to win, which in this case it does happen to be unanimous. But then Crest, being the first seed, will also have their pick as to who they want to face for their semifinals match. And myself, Grape, and Tanic all believe that Crest will want to verse Hangzhou, and Juice believes that they want to highball and try and take out the toughest opponent, if you will, first, which is Chengdu. And have any? Well, actually, it is worth saying that all 4 of us believe that Crest, regardless of their opponent, will take the win in the semifinals.
But I do want to say, if it's against Bark, Crest is gonna have to work hard against Bark, especially from how Bark played last time. And if Bark is able to synergize a bit more and play more Reed, this could definitely be a win for Hangzhou Bark. But Crest has just been very coordinated ever since the beginning of the league. They've always been considered the best team, and I feel like they will probably take down the Bark if they do choose the Bark. But if they choose the Chads, they're not winning.
I don't see them picking Bark. I just don't.
Yeah, Juice's explanation for why he thinks they'll choose Chengdu is that Ozzy is very much like a go-getter in a way, and that's why they'll want to take on the tougher opponent first. And I could definitely see that. Ozzy very much won't back down from that challenge, but I'm not entirely sure what his strategy will be. Whether he wants...
his strategy?
Yeah.
It's easy. Step 1, 5-hour scrim box. Step 2, 5-hour VOD block. Step 3, literally like all meet up in a real life place, do a LAN party, and then win. It's obvious.
Well, the man knows how to manage, that's for certain. Right, so then we actually have, of course, the matchups in that case would be myself, Grape, and Tanic would believe that Z9 would verse Chengdu, whereas Juice believes that they'll verse Hangzhou. Actually, all three of us that will believe that Chengdu could win against Z9, and Juice.
I did defend my case.
Yeah, go for it.
Shit.
Well, he has no choice. He chose Bark, and now he has to. He chose Crest.
Am I debating if we win, or am I debating if who we're gonna play?
I think you already kind of debated who you're gonna play because Crest says.
If I'm debating if we win against Bark, I feel like we can win against Bark.
Oh, that's the Chad.
The Chads. Yeah, okay, because most of you guys picked Chads. All right, okay. How to beat the Chads? Fix comms. That's it.
Now, I would imagine that Swaggy Turtle was probably one of the main shot callers on your team, right? Or
yes.
Yeah. So, I guess my question is like, who?
Gag.
Is Gag okay? Also, I've been hearing rumors that Gag might be swapping over to main tank. No, he's gonna stick on off tank.
No, he.
He's gonna do something.
I'm not gonna leak anything.
No, that's
No
fine.
leaks. Okay.
So, Gagbag will be taking up that leadership mantle, and I will say that Gagbag staying on the team is a huge plus.
Quick thing to say. Like Gag, like I know, like you and Gag. Oh yeah, just saying some dumbass crap in Discord, and like. It's kind of funny. It's like literally before the scrim. I want to leave. I hate this team. We need to win now. If we don't win, I'm gonna kill you. It's a snap of the finger, and like in game, like he is a god amongst men. Like I don't know. Like that's what it's like living in Minnesota. There's nothing to do with negative 40 degrees. Might as well play some Overwatch. Why not?
Yeah, I do have to agree that he is probably the most consistently insane player this league has ever seen. I mean, like, legitimately in a couple of years when he becomes of age, I could see him, like, going into actual path to pro. Because he's just that consistently good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but he has a girlfriend.
Ah, well. We can only hope that, I don't know. The
I want
dude's
free
insane.
tickets. I want free tickets.
Well, either way, we can enjoy him while we got him.
Yeah.
But anyways, we can move over to the novice stuff, and I'll give that over to Grape.
Yeah. Look at these quarterfinals. The first one, Rio Redemption versus Platchat. It's a no-brainer. We all know why Tanic chose Platchat, but like Rio Redemption is just strong in almost every single comp you play. They were a little shaky in the beginning of the season, losing to Bot Burgers, but their triple DPS comp that they've been running, their Ghost has also been looking a lot stronger. It's like this is a force we recommend. And Platchat, they've been saying they have something under their sleeve and they're gonna quickly bounce back in playoffs. I don't see it happening. And maybe Platchat turns on their aimbot all of a sudden and hacks their way. But yeah, Platchat, you're gonna have to have a miracle.
Wait, Akinator, can we sign the Mercy Ringer? Just go
Can you set no?
Okay,
Sign
anyway.
Yusuf. He's on the market. Sign Yusuf.
Okay, so
I will say there was a pretty large cap when Tanic was saying that PC would win. He said realistically Rio would win, but it would be funnier if you wrote PC. So.
Yeah.
yeah, so the next map, OTW versus DC, it's a lot closer, but for me it's still a runaway with OTW. Yeah. Double cap. There's rumors that King is getting benched for Shane, and Shane is not looking very good at all. OTW, they've been running a variety of comps. They did run some Clockwork Vendetta that don't work very well. They've been running some solo tank compositions with 3 DPS, 2 supports, with Orisa instead on we saw against Rio on Dorado. So OTW, because we know in the past DC's been quite confused with comps, especially looking at the Parrots game and the Rio Redemption game that they faced. So if OTW is able to like take the surprise factor in Double Cap, this should be a quite easy win. However, Double Cap is actually able to play synergize and call targets, and actually play King instead of Shane. They could definitely take this map, but overall OTW should be taking this pretty easily.
Yeah, I think it severely depends on what roster DC is going to field, because there's a good chance that like half of the lineup we know might not be
One
playing
really
that
short,
game.
Yeah.
So like it's a huge question mark, whereas we know One Trick is at least pretty good, especially against with DPS compositions, which Double Clap has suffered against in the past plenty of times.
Yeah. They're like the definition of a mid-tier team. They can beat teams that are somewhat close to them or worse, but they can't beat anyone above them. So Double Cap is probably definitely worse than OTW in my opinion. So you should take this.
Probably. Although please Double Clap, prove us wrong.
Nah, actually don't. We want to laugh at each other. Trust me.
Okay.
I believe in the
I'm gonna make
demon.
sure. I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna ditch our game and just watch you guys lose. Prove me wrong, but I.
Just put in a hard
I
sorry
spent
about.
so much time
Dude, if
thinking
they put
about
in a hard
this.
sorry about it, they'll stand a better chance. Smile.
Anyways, we can go on to the semifinals for novice.
So okay, I'll take it from here. So everyone's saying Bigger Parrots would want to choose OTW, and I
Yeah.
decided to go with Real Redemption, just for the fact that Bigger Parrots, they I feel like they want to face Bot Burgers in the finals. Last time they faced, last time I feel like, okay, yeah, they don't have no Magical. Congrats, but they at least put up. They still could put up a fight with Magical, but Real Redemption really destroyed them. Okay, yeah, they took that map. Okay, that free map. Let's not talk about that. But like, they look super weak. Okay, like it did not even look like they stood a chance.
It's because
like-
their mentality was like destroyed. Like they lost the map. They could have won that, but their mentality was just dead on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with the pick appearance. They have the mechanical skill, but it's with the mentality. And apparently Yam was one of the players that had a really big mentality boost. But without Yam, there's really no one on the pick appearance roster to really boost them. So for me, they would choose Real Redemption just to get them out of the way. Because even if they choose OTW, and probably, well, most likely will beat them, they have to face Real Redemption in the finals. So for me, it's gonna be Real Redemption. And
Is it-
going over, oh sorry.
I will say it is worth noting that Tedison has come back to the Papega Parrots as the head coach. So, and he was also a huge morale booster. Obviously not in game, but he would in between maps be like, okay guys, shut the hell up, go back to fundamentals and just win. And that's the team that went 4-1 in the first half of the season.
Yeah, they probably would have won 5-0 if their whole roster was able to make it. But yeah, you know what it is. It is what it is. So going on to the next round, it's going to be Bot Burgers versus Real Redemption. Everyone's saying Bot Burgers versus Real Redemption, except for me. I'm going to say Bot Burgers versus OTW, just for the fact that if Papega Parrots ready for facing Real, Bot Burgers have to face OTW. So yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on Bot Burgers versus Real Redemption?
I know so much about novice.
Okay. Basically, I've talked to Shash who said, and I quote, "We want the easiest route to finals." So the top two teams besides Papega Parrots, he will never choose in a million years. So
well, I'm
he
wrong
doesn't-
then, my bad.
yeah, he doesn't care who he faces. He just wants to make it to finals. And then
That's fair.
I think
Yeah.
they're probably just gonna prepare the living hell out of whoever they face. Which, if it's Bot Burgers versus Rio, I think Rio does have some amazing DPS, but also so does Bot Burgers, like a lot.
Yeah, right.
But Rio, okay, I want to say this. Against the Rio versus Bot Burgers game, Rio did not play triple DPS comp once. Since then, they run a lot of triple DPS and a little bit of goats, and the triple DPS is by far the best in novice. Bot Burgers, they played 2-2. They don't play triple DPS, so yeah, you could say Bot Burgers DPS are better, but Rio Redemption is DPS are just on a whole nother level. In my opinion.
I honestly don't
222
know
is
about that.
Also, remember, just a reminder that 222 is known for being a counter to triple, so it really doesn't matter.
Well, I don't know. Apple is really good on the hammer with making space for his team and for Eps and Chicken to pop
yeah,
up.
but
Well,
But
the
dive-
way to counter triple DPS is to play dive comp,
yeah,
because
and-
you just dive on the least mobile person, which is generally one of the DPS, usually like the Hanzo,
yeah,
or like if the old triple DPS used to run soldier, and you just
Yeah.
dive on the soldier and melt him, and it's like, well, there goes 3/4 of your damage. But
You could still always out triple. You could always still out dive with the triple DPS. It's still very possible. We've seen it, especially in Overwatch League, multiple times. So I don't know. It's definitely gonna be
Yeah.
a close matchup.
I think
it can be. I think Rio
Honestly,
eventually still loses.
I don't think it'll actually be that close. Mostly just because, like, looking at week 6, for example, like, Bob Burgers utterly destroyed Rio. It wasn't even close. Like,
Yeah.
I think one of the big things about that match was, like, the support line as well. Like, Rio has some pretty good supports, but, like, Bob Burgers probably have, like, one of the best support lines in Novice, period.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I feel like Rio will be a lot. I feel like it's gonna be a lot more competitive in a match now that Rio has cemented their starting lineup and what comp they probably want to run.
Go ahead, Tanik. You were saying something before.
Basically, if it comes down to a goats v goats matchup, Rio does not stand a chance in my. Like, Bob Burgers is way better than goats than them. Period.
Well, Rio doesn't want to play goats.
No.
They don't, but Bob Burgers can just force them into goats if they want. Like,
It is
wait.
worth. Go ahead, Juice.
So we all agreed that that if Plat Chat wins it all, we give Gag the entire ownership of this league, correct?
I don't remember that. There were a few
We
things
should.
that we said. There were. Oh, shoot. I'll have to look at them later, but there was, like, one where, like, if Newt versus Easy Clap is the final match, then, like, something or other with ads. There were a few things. Hold on, let me find it.
Ads does a weeb dance on stream.
No, it was.
Add one word.
It was like 48 hours.
Oh no.
48.
Oh
Sorry
no,
about
that
the
was
ad word.
that was if Newt went 1-9. Ads would do a 48-hour stream. That did not happen.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Could have
probably
happened, but they didn't.
he would have killed himself.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
No, we don't use kill. We use game end.
Oh yeah, gaming.
I think that was the big one. There was also something else with like. I think originally, if it was Easy Clap versus Newt in the finals, and Easy Clap won, Sparrow would get a Thanos roll for like a day or something.
Thanos. Oh god.
Because they kept doing
Oh,
those Infinity
God.
War memes, because they kept stealing
I thought-
Newt's coaches.
Yeah.
I thought it
Look
was,
at how that worked out.
I think that
Yeah.
might have happened last season though. Like last season, that probably could have happened if Easy Clap made it to finals, but
Yeah, they kind of get screwed
kinda
over.
did.
Go again.
oh yeah.
But anyways, unless anyone else has anything left to say, we can close this episode out.
Yeah, I think we're done.
So, thank you
wait,
all for... What?
Wait,
Go ahead.
Wait,
Wait, what?
I need to say one last thing. We would have made finals if it wasn't for Big Boy beating Cybergrab. He was a eater. I regret signing.
Oh, I thought we were gonna talk. I was gonna talk about like everything that like kind of happened.
Oh yeah, sure, if you want to. Keep in mind, we're also going to have a...
Oh god, where do I start? Okay, all right, here we go. Okay, so I'll start with Yusuf because he's probably the easiest one to explain. Basically, I guess he's technically a World Cup player when he's old enough. He's like
an assistant coach, right?
no, yeah, you're right. He for Egypt.
Yep.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was legal because I thought he was like in America. But
I
whatever.
thought that was a joke the whole time, but
No,
No,
that's
he's-
real.
He actually,
I know.
He's,
No, he messaged.
He has to have dual citizenship. That's the same thing with hydration. He qualifies for for Team Brazil. But he-
Basically, I'll try and explain it very, very, hopefully very quickly. But basically, what happened was is in the game, push comes to shove is like, we start out fine and we tied and then we lost and then we lost again. Two rumors I want to clean up. One, no, Yusuf does not hate. Well, especially no one from personally like Swaggy or Plasma or Yusuf. No, none of them hate me because of what happened, because that was kind of, Yusuf said it before, he wanted to leave. He actually DM'd me before that happened, so it wasn't because of the loss. And I see this as more of like a way that we can turn around them and fix everything, because a lot of things are gonna kind of fall into place with a few things that I'm gonna try and I guess leak. I don't know. I feel like leaking stuff. I'm a fun guy, but basically, Melon and Plasma did never liked each other.
shocker.
They just this doesn't work. It's just like really it's someone who actually kind of like makes these comps and stuff, and then some kid where it's just like I'll just run Doomfist. It's fine. And it basically came down to just like Plasma just didn't have enough with it, and then like Swaggy leaving for bigger and better things, which I'm completely fine for. I will. If they want to leave to go on better things and get out of a plat league by any means, they can do that. That doesn't really bother me. But I find it funny, and I don't remember this, but Newt made a power rankings, and they didn't even rank us. They said that we were gone and done. And let me tell you one thing, like the two guys who are here, I'm gonna tell them it's kind of like the next man up mentality, where it's like, all right, if it just go in there and see how it is. We're gonna try and scrim a lot. We're gonna see how we can work with them, because we get rid of all this drama BS. Gag staying, we still got fun, we still got a lot of potential, and we basically lost a loud, very talented main tank who I respect so much. He's such a great guy. Obviously he gets triggered a little bit sometimes, and Swaggy's very chill. And Plasma, he's a big part of basically doing all that stuff, but I feel like in the end, like that team environment doesn't really fit with him. And a lot of people did not like when he brought in people from Go again, but that's something we'll talk about later. But that's that story for another time. But I want to talk about, more importantly, it's like I remember someone asking me this, where it's like, do you think Ozzy's your rival? And I'm like, no, he's just some dude from Australia that I've But there's two things that I will say that are very important, and I guess there's pros and cons. Ozzy 100% does this job way better than me. I will never doubt that. But I will never in a million years give 5-hour. I don't even know if it's real, but someone confirmed this. I'm not gonna make my players do that, because I don't want them to game in themselves and die. And besides, they would never even listen to me anyway. But I look at this as like this. I said to them, I said, if you want me to be chill, I'll be chill. If you want me to be a hard ass, I'll be a hard ass. But I basically just said, if you just do whatever you want, and we're just here to have fun. That's what I basically came down to. And like sometimes that just didn't really work with Plasma, and I feel like I should have pushed my philosophy a lot more, because you could obviously tell that wasn't really present. And I believe that I feel like we're fine, and I feel like everything with enough. It's pretty obvious that like Crest and Bark and Chengdu is like they don't even see us as a challenge. I'm not even gonna mention the other two because we're not gonna play them. Because they see this as like kind of like a pushover game. Like they see that we're like kind of broken and like stuff. I don't see that. I feel like if we get down to scrim, see how this new main tank and this new healer, then we'll figure it out. I don't remember the one thing I wanted to say, but I wish it popped up in my head, because it was really good to talk about. I'm kind of dumb, so I don't remember, and that's about it. I hope I made this a little bit more interesting, except for some people
Yeah, I
who
think.
listened to it at the very. Oh, that's what I wanted to say.
Oh, okay.
It's about. Yeah, I got it. Crest and Pepega parents. This is my one criticism I have to say. Can I curse?
Yeah, sure.
No, wait. Okay.
Just once.
Holy shit! Stop with the interviews. Come on, really? Wait, let me go. Wait. Where's that?
I listened for the first 10 seconds and
Community showcase. Community showcase. Penguin 5. Oh, interview with Crest. Interview with Pepega parents. Look, I messed around with Tanic and Damien and talked about like, oh, we should do this.
Yeah,
one
that was
where, where we do this 3-round of teams to where like to basically mock them, because I'm a piece of shit. And I don't really care. But like, dude, like I understand you wanna push your logo, the flock, dude. Holy shit, dude. I'm hyped, dude. Oh my god, dude. It's a plat league. This is all to have fun. I'm surprised because like the team, us as Z9, like if anyone would ever interview me, I don't know. No one even asked. We got like 2 people on this thing, and we are the talkative team. Like, really, never interview us. I can't wait until I get to start scrims, learn these new guys. I hope that we can at least get our goal is still the same as beat what we did last year, or at least tie it. Because last year, I still have PTSD from that damn go again game and that fucking jump against. I'm so bad at Winston. That one game, oh my god.
Goal game was just so good.
Yeah, I was.
You don't even know how good they actually were, though.
Yeah,
You
right.
have no idea.
I'm gonna try and sum it up really quickly about last year. Basically, I was kind of like a diamond in the rough story where it was like flat main tank, let's take this guy, and then Juicebox was like, oh, we'll make you captain, and then he died. He didn't die. He just never really was online. So that kind of sucked. That kind of sucked. So that I had to be captain, and like we had a good roster. And then we put all the pieces together, and then we won games, and then we lost games, and then we played Plat Chat, and they had Nub, and then we almost PayPal'd Cyber.
Yep, I remember that.
$20, and then it was kind of funny because like I had a very passive play style, but compared to Pooter, and I feel bad for Pooter because like they really overshadow him because like it's like wait. What was your rank at the time? They started a 2.8 main tank over you, and you're 3.4. I feel bad for all the shit that Pooter gets. I feel like he can continue working at it, and he's gonna be a fine main tank. I had a way more passive playstyle, and then we got boom finals. So I'm done. That's all I want to talk about. That's all I want to talk about. Just with the interviews, it's kind of cringe.
I'm pretty sure actually a Newt interview came out today. I'll have to
It did.
look around.
Yeah, they were talking like they didn't even want to rank Xenon, and I'm just like, ha.
Oh, is that
aren't
what
you
they're
the-
talking about?
Aren't you supposed to be the team that was the separator from everyone else? We're gonna be the third best team, and then you only got 3 wins. Nice.
Anyways, thank you for tuning into the countdown this week. Hopefully this was interesting, getting a little bit of juice from Juice there. So, if you enjoyed, we could tell. So if you did enjoy this, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, maybe even subscribe. We will indeed have another episode of the countdown in between the semifinals. That too. Actually, we might have one on
Exciting videos
next
planned.
week.
Be excited.
I don't even remember what I just said. Oh my god.
Go ahead. I just
you're
brought
good.
up Peter.
Good enough. It's like my reality one. Holy
Anyways, see you 2 weeks from now. Peace not.